Chapter 31. Gathering Storm. The change began quietly, not with alarms or visible fractures, but with a subtle thinning of the city's harmony, like music drifting just out of tune. Elara felt it before dawn. The tether pulsed with a slow, deliberate rhythm, not distress, but warning. She rose and stepped onto the balcony, the cool air carrying a faint vibration she could feel in her bones. Behind her, Kaelen stirred. "It's accelerating," he said softly. She nodded. "Yes." Across Aethelgard, currents shifted in ways too subtle for most to notice. But in the deeper systems, the ancient layers beneath the city, feedback loops tightened, pressure building within the network of conduits. Elara closed her eyes. The balance felt like a vast structure under strain, holding, for now. A summons arrived before sunrise, not a formal council gathering, but an urgent consultation. Elara and Kaelen exchanged a knowing look. "Phase 2, Kaelen murmured. They went. The chamber was dimmer than usual, its walls displaying live system projections, streams of light flowing through intricate patterns. Council members stood in clusters, voices low. At the center, Thane waited. "Elara," he said smoothly, "thank you for coming." She inclined her head. "You said it was urgent." He gestured to the projections. "We are observing increased instability, particularly in regions linked to the anchor." Kaelen stepped forward. "That instability coincides with your modifications." A faint ripple of tension moved through the room. Thane did not argue, "Which is why we must act decisively," he said. "We propose a controlled recalibration, temporary isolation of key variables." Elara felt her pulse quicken. "Isolation of what?" she asked. Thane's gaze rested on her. "The tether," he said quietly. Silence fell. Elara felt as though the air had thickened. "You cannot be serious," she said. "It would be brief," Thane replied, "a necessary precaution to ensure system resilience." Kaelen's voice was steady but firm. "Severing that connection, even temporarily, risks destabilizing the entire network." Not severing, partitioning. Elara heard the word for what it was. Separation. "Why now?" she asked. Thane's expression remained calm. "Because the system is approaching thresholds we cannot ignore," he said. Elara met his gaze. "Or because you wish to test whether we can be controlled." A murmur passed among the council. Thane did not deny it. "We must understand all possibilities," he said. Elara felt the tether warm, a quiet reassurance, but also a reminder of what was at stake. "This is not an experiment," she said. "It's a living balance." Kaelen stood beside her. "And you are pushing it toward fracture," he added. Thane's tone softened slightly. "History will judge us by whether we prepared for uncertainty." Elara's voice was steady. "History will judge whether we chose fear over trust." The council recessed without resolution, but the intention was clear. They were moving forward. Later, in the quiet of a high observatory, Elara paced slowly. "They won't stop," she said. Kaelen watched the distant glow of the city. "No," he said. "They believe they are protecting it." She stopped. "And if they try to force separation?" Kaelen met her gaze. "Then we must be ready." She felt a knot tighten in her chest. "Ready for what?" she asked. "For the possibility," he said gently, "that balance must be defended." That evening, subtle anomalies appeared across the network, brief fluctuations, minor disruptions quickly smoothed. To most, they meant nothing. To Elara, they felt like tremors before a quake. Deep within restricted systems, hidden protocols activated, containment algorithms, isolation routines, fail-safes designed for scenarios no one wished to acknowledge. Thane stood alone in a control chamber, watching the flow of data. "Begin synchronization," he said quietly. High above, clouds gathered around the city's upper spires, catching the light in shifting hues. Beautiful, uncertain, poised on the edge of transformation. Elara stood by the window that night, hand resting over the tether. "We're close," she whispered. Kaelen stepped beside her. "Yes," he said, "the turning point." She looked out over the luminous expanse. "Whatever happens," she said softly, "we face it together." Kaelen's voice was quiet but resolute. "Always." Far below, unseen mechanisms aligned, lines drawn, choices narrowing. The storm was no longer approaching, it was forming.